Hi everyone, my name's Justin Passero and welcome to the DefensX platform. In this quick little video, I'm going to show off all the capabilities that DefensX have to offer. At first, DefensX is a web browser security product that not only can handle today's greatest threats, but also tomorrow's threats as well when it comes through the browser. The first thing I'm going to show off is we have the ability to do multiple policies. If you want to do multiple different rules for different individuals, we can absolutely do that. And inside of our policy system, the first place we're going to go to is our content filtering. So we do traditional DNS protection with content filtering. The first place we have is our custom URL groups. Think of this as your whitelisting and your blacklisting as well. We have it nice there and open. You can easily add to your extra URLs to here if you needed to do so. And then of course we have over 200 categories available so that you can pick and choose exactly what you want to allow and what you want to block. We also have a risk scoring system attached to this as well. We assign a risk score to just about every website out there. We're primarily looking at two questions here. Is the website safe to visit, meaning will I get malware, and is the content safe to view? If you're safe to visit, but you're not safe to view, you're going to be a medium risk. If you are not safe to visit, you're a high risk, and then of course, if you're safe to visit and you're safe to view, you're going to be a low risk. So this is a wonderful catch-all system to this. Now, unlike a traditional content filter, we do more available than just your traditional allow and block. We also have some extra features, read-only mode, and we also have remote browser isolation as well. This is what those look like here. The first one is forward.com. I put forward into our read-only mode. So here you can see I have the initial page, but I'm not allowed to actually click on anything. DefensX is blocking my ability to interact with the website. I also kind of noticed right here, we also have the ability to watermark any website as well. That's part of our DLP features of Core Plus. Also, we have the same ability to prevent a user from uploading and downloading. As you can see here, I tried to download or print, and we have printing is blocked by your company policy. Even print to PDF does not work as well. Now, remote browser isolation is actually way more cool than this. I put Toyota into remote browser isolation. As you can see from an end user aspect here, everything's working. Videos are playing, I can click, it's just as fast as normal browsing. But what we've actually done is DefensX took this website, we put it on a browser in the cloud, and we're streaming the content to the user. I'm officially air-gapped from Toyota. In this case, nothing at Toyota's website is touching my machine. And to show this off here, if I go to our tools and go to our Elements tab, you can see nothing of Toyota is in here. This is all DefensX, essentially. If I do the same thing within a browser that does not have DefensX installed, same exact website, if I'm going to do the exact same thing, I'm going to go to our tools, I'm going to go to developer tools, and there you go. Look at all the difference. All those scripts, those trackers, the cookies. None of that would be touching my machine if I was still utilizing remote browser isolation. That's what's really cool about that. You're able to visit a website and not have it affect your endpoint. That's one of the beautiful things about DefensX here. Now, also, one of the biggest key features of DefensX is our credential protection. Here, I'm going to go to Dropbox, and I'm going to try to log in. And there you go. DefensX has blocked my ability to enter a password into Dropbox in this case. We can prevent users from inputting passwords into places they're not supposed to. But we still give the users a little bit of freedom. We're alerting the user, hey, it's the first time you're entering your credentials in here. We give a risk score, we show exactly who's trying to get those credentials, and since Dropbox is low risk, it's a safe and legitimate website, I have this button here. We call this granting consent. If I hit the button, I'm able to put my password in, or in this case, my password manager just auto-filled for me. That consent is also logged for me as a user, so I don't get the pop-up again. It's also logged for you, the partner, as well, so you can see who's granting consent to what. Now, here's the beautiful thing. We're utilizing the risk scoring system. If the website was deemed any other risk score, we would have taken away the button. They can't grant consent to a medium risk or a high risk website. Now, the other half of this equation is we also have the ability to prevent multi-factor authentication token theft. We actually have a full video of this on our YouTube channel here. As you can see here, we show how we use a program called EvilGenix to capture the token and then inject it to gain access to the victim's email account, thus causing a business email compromise. I'm just going to show the last little bit here. So here's the classic scenario, but it's not an official Office 365 domain. The user doesn't know any better. They're going to click anyways. But DefensX does see that this website is trying to impersonate Microsoft. So we shut down the credential field entirely, and we alert the user as such. The idea here is you can't steal the token because the token never got generated because the person never put their password in. That's that style of protection, and this is part of our core SKU. Now, the same style of protections for credentials we can also do with uploading and downloading as well. We can block the user from uploading and downloading from the browser. What's really nice about this is we treat uploading and downloading as their own set of abilities. You can block one particular way of traffic. You can see right here for my allowed downloads, I'm only blocking uploading. I'm essentially saying the only thing they can do is download. You'll have that granularity to be able to make sure that people have the proper permissions for what they do within their job. We also have an Adware blocker. What's really nice about our ad blocking is we do our ad blocking a little bit differently so that websites cannot track that you are utilizing us. So here is a well-known website, good old ESPN. And you're going to see here, not a single ad in sight. We've actually taken out the ads for ESPN in here. There's nothing in here whatsoever. The way that we handle this is, since we're an agent-based system on top of being an extension as well, is that we trick the websites into thinking they're serving us the ads. That data does make it to our agent. Our agent's able to see that ad data and then just not let it finish to the browser. You have a nice clean environment. We also have inadvertently increased browser speed by about 30% because it's taking less time to load in all the extra stuff and the junk behind the scenes. So it's a win-win for everybody. Now, in today's world, artificial intelligence has taken everybody by storm. Everyone wants to utilize artificial intelligence, but the downside is not a lot of people know how to use artificial intelligence responsibly in regards to private and sensitive data. With DefensX, we do have those capabilities. The first one is, inside of our categories here, we have an artificial intelligence category. We can block artificial intelligence. This means blocking DeepSeek and ChatGPT and Gemini and the likes. With our Core Plus SKU, we have something better for Copilot. We have a thing called AI protections. With a simple flick of a toggle here, I am now requiring all of my users, if they want to utilize any version of Copilot, free version, paid version, app version, it does not matter. They must log in with their Entra ID to utilize it. Then we enforce the commercial data protections on the user, meaning while they're utilizing Copilot to make that really nice looking document, or it's a PowerPoint presentation or a graphic, and they're using sensitive data, we, as in DefensX, are ensuring that prompts and responses aren't saved, Microsoft has no eyes to that data, and the data can't be used to train other models. We're keeping the corporate data in the corporations. We're preventing it from possibly leaking into the generative AI model, which then becomes public knowledge for everybody. So with DefensX, you can still let the users utilize Copilot because it is a wonderful tool, but still protect the data. Now, one of the biggest key features of our product is we do have different SKUs available. We have Core, Core Plus, and Premium. One of the wonderful things is you can mix and match all the different SKUs within the same customer. Premium, which is where our remote browser isolation technology is situated, is a pretty niche product. Not everybody would need it. Your current customer is in law enforcement. It's a sheriff's deputy office. Who's really doing the big investigations? Would be your detectives. Your average deputy probably wouldn't be doing those style of investigations. So you can then just give the premium SKU to the 2 to 4 detectives in that sheriff's office, and everybody else can stay on Core Plus because that has our data loss prevention abilities, the print blocking and the file blocking. Therefore, your customer's only paying for 2 licenses of premium. Everybody else is on Core Plus. You are able to mix and match and make sure people have the proper license for what their role is inside of their company. And I can also upgrade people to a different tier. I can do everybody in one shot. That's that little upgrade button right here. Or I can go into my users, click on one single user, and click the upgrade button. Now I'm only upgrading one single user with just a couple of clicks. So you'll have that granularity to be able to make sure that everyone has the proper license. Now, logs are pretty straightforward, except for this. we are tracking the clicks. We are not tracking the time spent at a website. So we're not going to say that John was on YouTube for 2 hours. We're going to say in the last 4 hours, John has clicked on YouTube 200 times. Fake number. So you have full filtering capabilities. You can type in either a user or computer, a website. You have dates, times, you name it, you have it. You can see right here, we have the action, we have the website, the category, and the risk score. You can easily click on the little arrow right here. Then you can see the full URL as well as the user. And then we have a policy checker built into the platform. Here you can see why did DefensX take that action. Super helpful when you see something blocked that shouldn't have been. You can see why. It's going to adjust your policy appropriately. All of our different abilities have their own logs as well. Here's our file transfers logs. You can see right here, I went to a website and I uploaded this file, and that was an upload. As you can see here, you can see whether it was a download. We also tie into VirusTotal as well. So if you ever wanted to check that hash against other people, Sentinel-1 and CrowdStrike and the rest, you can check that hash to make sure it's safe and legitimate. Best log, in my opinion, though, is your password strength. We actually look at the password strengths. We're looking at not at the password itself, we're looking at the encrypted hash. We run that hash through our own algorithm, and we report on the strength of the password, and then we also run it through the k-anonymity algorithm, which because it will show you if a user's password has been breached and shown up on the dark web. Here you can see my Domino's Pizza password needs to be changed. It's been breached once. So you can easily come in here once again, utilizing the filter capabilities, show just what's been pawned, print out that report and give it to the people. Now, logs is all about the individual. Reports is all about the company and trends. The big one here being cyber resiliency scoring. Every user will get a score based upon the metrics that you see here. So we've already looked at password hygiene, but now we're also looking at malware safety. Where are your users downloading? What kind of files? Are they going to the right places, or are they just choosing the first link in a Google search? Social engineering safety, we're looking at how often they go to the social media websites, as well as how long they stay there. For sensitive data, we're looking at the websites and what kind of data they're collecting. What kind of data are they holding, essentially. Now, I can come over here, click the Users tab, and then I'm going to click on myself here. Here is my cyber resiliency scoring. My password score is pretty good. I've got a couple of medium strength passwords, but nothing really to worry about. Nothing has been breached, which is even better. For my malware safety, you can see right here, I'm going to safe places, Outlook and Avid, in this case here. And then, of course, when I go to social engineering, you're going to see I go to Twitter, some Reddit, some LinkedIn as well. So what we have here is tangible data about the habits of a user. And then you can take this data, you can go to your customer and go, here's the habits of your users. These habits are risky, and here's what we're going to do to manage that risk. What's an easy way to use this data? Security awareness training. Do I need a password training? No, my score's pretty good. It's in the 80s. 80s to 100 is really good. But do I need a social engineering training? Yes. Even though I might go to these places legit me for work, maybe I'm looking at the Reddit discords for MSPs and looking for vendors, it is still risky to do so because I could get targeted there. So I'm going to get that training because we're going to make sure that I know what to look for in case I do get targeted. Now, versus my other guy, right here, their password score is pretty low. It's underneath 80. I would consider this a bad password score right here. Why is it so low? Medium strength, we got weak passwords, we have breached passwords in here as well. So this person would be getting the security awareness training for password security on top of social engineering as well. That's how you can really utilize this data to really train the user on their deficiencies while still recognizing they have strengths, and so they don't need as much training in those areas. Now, this is also a scheduled report. You can easily come into your MSP dashboard here and set up a scheduled report to anybody you want to on a bi-weekly or monthly basis. And that report you can also instantly generate as well by clicking this vCISO button here. We call this the vCISO report. Here we talk about what this report really shows off. We show the users and their scores. We do show off a little bit of shadow IT. These are possible risky browser extensions that have been installed on our endpoints. We have recommendations on how to increase those scores. And then, of course, we've got the latest and greatest as well as the classics. What's been blocked the most, what's been allowed the most, the categories browsed, all in a nice and easy to read format report. So that is DefensX as a platform. If you have any questions, please always reach out to us at DefensX, and have a good rest of your day.